Hello and welcome to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. I'm Gilly Rosari. That is my main man, Larry Loper. We are coming to you live from Northern Delaware. We got a lot to get into. It's been 2 weeks. Our last show had nothing to do with sports, but it was an awesome show. Today, we're going to start with the Olympics. Now that that's over, we're going to talk a lot of NFL now. Preseason has ramped up. We got some injuries. We got a trade. We got to talk about the FBS rankings, which just came out, I believe, yesterday. The Georgia Bulldogs on top of that one, which we also got to talk about the fact, does it even matter, because it's a 12 team kind of tournament now at the end of the year. My main man, Larry, wants to talk about WWE, so I'm down with that. And so let's get it crack-a-lackin'. First of all, my main man, Larry, how was the last 2 weeks for you? We haven't been on the air. I know you've been itching to get on, scratching, kind of,
Yeah, man, I've been revving it up, man. It's been a good 2 weeks, man. Honestly, been back in the gym, getting my mental right, my physical right, gearing up for the best time of the season, which is football. The weather's changing. I'm getting out this hot summer. I don't like summer. I haven't felt the summer. I work indoors, so I never felt too much of the heat. But I just like when the weather changes. I love fall. I love when we get to talk football, look at football. I just love the time of the season, man. I'm itching. It's a lot of storylines that's going to be going on that I'm looking forward to. A lot of training camp buzz, and I've been, every day I've been on top of seeing, certain storylines playing out. The Olympics, man. Once again, like you said, the Olympics was such a oh my God, this was actually a good Olympics, man, especially the basketball. Basketball, the USA definitely got tested. And this is how you define champions in my opinion. This was such the mark from a champion from a regular player, right? And what I mean by, as LeBron got the MVP, I think was it 90? Was 92 when he went that year and they won bronze?
No, 2004.
2004 when he went bronze.
Larry Brown's team.
Yeah, Larry Brown. That just shows you when you got NBA players, but you still gotta have chemistry. You still gotta have some type of chemistry, right? And it was a question: was this team better than the Dream Team? Right? Your opinion? Do you think this team was the best NBA team or the deepest NBA team?
No.
First
of all, they were favored to win by double digits, especially the last game. I think they were favored to win by 16, and they barely pulled it out. It took Steph being Steph, which I want to get into that a little bit.
Indeed.
No, I mean, no, not really.
Yeah,
everybody, if they were healthy on the Dream Team, played. They were in the regular rotation. Charles Barkley won MVP, and he came off the bench.
Yeah.
Christian Laettner was the only guy that really didn't get minutes, but out of the 12 guys, 11 of them were in the rotation. If they were healthy, they played. They had to appease some of these guys to play them in the first half. Just so they didn't have to hear outside critics. Jason Tatum didn't play a couple games.
Yes. When you talk about that.
Embiid for a while didn't play a lot. Came alive late, but then they were saying that the offense wasn't flowing good when he was on the floor. The offense flowed great when that Dream Team was on the floor. Now, if you want to say the competition is better now than it was then, I'll agree with that. There's a lot of pros. I don't mean just pros like other professional leagues.
Right.
There's a lot of pros in the NBA that are playing for other teams. Serbia, France. I mean, look at the hotbed France is now. They had the number one pick last year. With Victor, number 1 and number 2 came from France this year. So, and I don't even think those guys played. Really,
this is my argument, Gilly. This is my argument why the Dream Team is the best Olympic men's basketball team ever. And I don't care what generation you throw out there until we get. First and foremost, yes, the competition has got better, Gilly. But let's be honest, Gilly. Let's be honest. Even if in this day and time, with all the NBA players we have, right? Honestly, in your opinion, do you think that they won by 44? I would have clocked them at 30. I'd have said the Dream Team still would have won by 30.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I'm going to tell you why. One, you had quite arguably the killer. You had a killer, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, the best.
The best. Go. Hands down. Hands down. Michael Jordan. I don't know if you saw the thing when they played Puerto Rico. And they said Magic Johnson a story how they went out that night and Chuck Daly said, "Oh no, I'm gonna pitch you on the 2-guard." You know, because they had went out, played 32 rounds of golf.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan
lit
up, party,
36 holes.
Boom. So he said, "Nah, I got the point guard."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Nah, you know, but you play 30 grand." He said, I got the point guard. Why? Because the point guard said some junk about him in the newspaper. So Michael Jordan, he always needed fuel to kind of get going. Shut him down. Defensively, he's I'm going to stick the point guard. The guy that's going to have the ball the most, I'm going to make sure that I shut him down. Defensively, locked in. Not offensively, like I'm going to get mine. I ain't worried. I'm going to kill you, right? Defensively, it's a different mindset, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's one. You had the mailman, Karl Malone. Knees and all. You're not stopping him.
Mm-hmm.
You had David Robinson, dominant center. No, I'm the dominant center. You ain't going to do nothing with me. I'm not shooting no stretch forward, feed me in the paint. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Scottie Pippen, utility man. Do everything. Right? Charles Barkley, dominant. I'm hit you with a tray. I'm taking you to the cup. I'm getting rebounds. What are you going to do with me? Nothing. What I'm saying is you had alpha. Everybody on that team was an alpha, bro. Mm-hmm. Every last person on the team was alpha. And I'm going to dominate you. I'm not playing with you.
And who made Karl Malone better?
John Stockton.
And he was on the team. Mm-hmm.
Bro.
Chris Mullin on the team.
Bro.
Clyde Drexler on the team.
Larry Legend even with a bad back.
Yep.
He still look, hit him. I'm going to go in the corner and I'm going to shoot this three in your face and you ain't going to do nothing about it. I got a bad back too. Mm-hmm. That guy, right? Mm-hmm. There's no weak links on the team, bro. No weak links. None.
None.
I can say it was weak links on this team. Halliburton get no tick. Mm-hmm. I don't think Jason Tatum was a weak link, but he ain't get no burn. How the dude done won the championship, right? Mm-hmm. Won the championship, my man. Led this team to a chip. Didn't get no tick. Scratch my head, right? Indeed, like you said, some games he was there, some games he wasn't dominant. He wasn't dominant, bro. Steph didn't get hot to the last 2 games, bro.
Yep. He was a defensive liability every game.
Yes, he was. Every game. The only person I could say was consistently the guy was LeBron. Mm-hmm. KD even had moments. KD had a good first game, right? But that last game, or the game in Serbia, he was struggling, bro. He was struggling. Anthony Edwards didn't give me consistency throughout. So basically, I'm telling you, how can your team be the best team when I just literally picked apart the flaws?
Right.
You can't throw a flaw in the Dream Team, bro. No. They comfortably beat. It was a joke, bro. Mm-hmm. You know who their competition was? Each other. That's the best competition they had when they went against each other. Right?
Right.
Okay. Not taking nothing from the Olympics, the gold, because I honestly thought Serbia was going to win that game, bro. Mm-hmm. It showed me just the heart of a champion. It showed me that big-time players step up in big moments. This is what defines a champion. Pressure. Okay? Because when it's thick, when everybody's against you, we have no rhythm. The other team's hitting threes, Bogdanovic is snapping. You already know what Joker going to do. You can't do nothing with Joker. It's a mismatch. I don't care who on him. You hear me? Dominant, the Joker. That team was a dominant team, bro. It was. They had momentum. They was up by 17, bro.
Yeah.
17. Mm-hmm. I even Facebooked it. I said, what's going on with the gold? I don't know. But once again, they remain calm. And what happened? Steph started hitting some threes. LeBron started taking over. KD started hitting some shots, and
Embiid.
B took over. He scored like 7 in a row, but they kept feeding him. He recognized a mismatch and he went at him. Congratulations. Congratulations. And then obviously in the title game, like you said, Steph became what Steph does. Steph just went crazy. He was hot. There's nothing they could do. Nothing they could do. Victor Wembanyama, he's the real deal. He's the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So congratulations to the Olympic gold medalist team. You know, they definitely deserved it. You know, they brought it back home to USA. Congratulations. But none of them teams that they went against need to hold their head down at all. France, remarkable team, put a remarkable team out there. Serbia definitely had a strong team. Germany had a strong team. Dennis Schroeder boys.
I thought Germany was going to beat France.
I did too. It was a great game too, by the way.
Great.
By the way.
Great game. But it was cool to see the U.S. play France in France.
Ain't it though? Both. Because the women played France on their side
too. And the women, they only won by a point.
Yeah.
Because
they killed everybody.
She had a toe on the 3-point line when she hit it.
Yeah. They killed the women. Like they had a better, easier road to the final than the men did. You know, the women dominated everybody but France. You know, which shout out to France, man. You know, they put 2 great teams out there in display, man. Shout out to France, man. It's great when you go play in front of your home crowd in the gold medal game, man. Beautiful thing. You know, they brought silver back to France. It's cool. You know. Anything else about the basketball you want to elaborate on?
It's not so much the basketball, but I will bring up the basketball because we hear a lot about the players in the States that play in the NBA and the WNBA. And I'm not trying to throw cold water on this, but it is something that instinctually came to my mind, and I wanted to bring it up with you. The United States won the most gold medals. And they won. So in winning the most gold medals, you got to hear the national anthem the most.
Right.
Including the men and women of the basketball teams, right? The national teams. A lot of those players, when they're in the States, voiced a lot of, rightfully so, dismay over things that they felt were wrong in the United States, and their way of expression, or you want to call it protest, was kneeling during the national anthem or not coming out until the national anthem was done, and then they'll come out. Everybody stood during the national anthem in France. Everybody who won gold, as far as I know, stood. The U.S. men's team, the U.S. women's team in basketball, they all stood. So I just found it interesting. I guess I'm going to say, is this going to be a thing where now they're always going to stand, they're always going to come out? Or is it going to be a thing where we feel comfortable protesting in our own country, but because this was the Olympics,
right,
we felt the need that, you know, we had to stand? To me, this is me speaking for me, no one else. Not you, no one else. To me, I don't think you can halfway do it. I think if you're going to kneel, if you're going to stay in the back, that is your right. That is your choice. I don't like it personally.
Right.
But I wouldn't do it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. But if you don't do it in the United States, and now you decided to do it in France when the whole world is watching, I feel, just me, speaking for me, you come back to the States, the kneeling thing is done for you.
I agree.
I can't take you seriously.
I agree.
Because the problems still remain. Cop brutality, non-equal rights for gays and lesbians, whatever you're kneeling for. That was before the previous 2 weeks, and it's going to be now that the 2 weeks have passed. So if you felt that strongly about it in America, where you know you were pissing people off
right
while you did that, but you don't do it in France, then I don't want to see you do it back in America. Not you, not the same person. If it's someone else who didn't go over, that's different. But if it's I'm just going to use LeBron as a name. If LeBron was kneeling prior to, which he has done, and he stood and he's in the argument of greatest Olympian because he has, outside of '04, he's won a gold medal every time. He's been every 4 years he's been on the team and he's won a gold medal. He stood, he got the MVP. I don't want to see LeBron James go back to America and when the Lakers play, he's taking a knee or he's in the back or there's some reason. That's me. That's me, who is obviously not black, obviously did not ever face police brutality, although there have been occasions where they've been jerks to me. I'll just say that. And other people in my family, my mother in particular, which ticks me off to this day. But all that being said, I stand for the national anthem. And if players who chose to stand in France, I feel should be standing again when the season starts again. That's my opinion. You have your own opinion. You're obviously not white. So, this Black Lives Matter. Like, basically what I want to say is, does Black Lives Matter didn't really seem to matter in France? Is it still a thing now that they're back in America?
My thing, Gilly, I was just crazy that you brought that up because that was my point I was literally about to bring up.
And we did not talk about this prior to.
No, and we did not. For the world is catching this, we definitely did not pre-talk about this. But this is one of the things that I'm the same way, and maybe it's the Aryan in us, Whereas if you stand on the cause, you stand on the cause, man. And I know that America, unfortunately, is a fad. It's a lot of fads going on in America, man. It's a trend thing. What's trending? Because once again, it was such an uproar when Black Lives Matter, and I don't know if it was doing because it was Donald Trump's presidency that you really had to. It was a lot of social outcry, right? Last time I checked, Gilly, I don't think that anything has really changed on that front, right? But you don't hear about it no more. So it miraculously went away. I don't agree with that, right? But then it was, it's one of the things like, hey, let's all march, let's all stand down, let's all do this, right? Black lives matter. Well, I thought all lives mattered. I thought all lives matter. Once again, it's this, and not to get too deep, man, but it was like, if you got to be objective, not subjective, right? You really do. Because I could easily sit out here and I could point all the deficiencies in every day I could walk out and put your deficiencies out if I wanted to, right? That's being subjective. If I'm objective, right, I'm looking at it like this. I don't have a fear of, and I'm a black male in America, right? I don't have a fear if I get in my vehicle or if I walk down the street or I'm in certain places that the police is going to run up on me and just shoot me down dead. I don't have that legitimate fear. Okay, but I do have a fear if I go in my own environments, where I grew up at, and I'm hanging out with my friends that I grew up with, that somebody that looks like me will come up and kill me. That's a legitimate fear. Okay, the police targeting us people, right? It's a small number if you think about it. It really is. I think the outcry comes because of the public trust that we have in the police and this abuse of the power. But if you look at the numbers, it's not like it's a huge number of these incidents that happen, right? So for you to say the Black Lives Matter, I think it's way more important if you say, well, the black on black crime is the more, I believe, the more pointed in direction that we need to be going. But it's easy to say I'm the police. But what about the sense of violence that's going on against black on black crime, bro? I have an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? Because these are the platforms that need to be discussed. That's the bigger problem, right? It's no different, like you said. It's hypocritical to me, bro. You go all the way out France, would have been the best time to really stand on some social outcry, right? Because now you got the world watching you, bro. Not just the US of A, you got the world watching you. So wouldn't you want to make a stance that time? It's no different than when Carl Lewis and them boys when they went over to Germany doing, right? Right? They used that platform because they knew it was a platform to use it to bring awareness to the problem that was going back into the US of A. So is it really a problem? That's the question. I agree with you, brother. Since you took that stance and you stood for that national anthem in France, in the Olympics, and the whole world saw it, you can't come back to the States and say, oh, now I'm not standing. I'm not. You, man, stop it. Stop it. You can't.
It doesn't come off as genuine.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's just like, it's like one of the things like, you know when you were in high school and you wanted to be in the cool group and you know
cool club.
You did it, the cool
kids.
Club. Yeah.
You want to be part of the cool kids.
I want to be part of the cool club.
Now with all the cameras and social media and a guy, again, I'm going to use LeBron James, who, you know, never saw a camera or a mic that he didn't like. You know, all eyes are on you all the time. And I just think you need to be genuine. Obviously, there's still problems. There's still problems with police brutality and like you said, you know, your own kind hunting you down. Obviously, there's still prejudice all throughout the country and all throughout the world, and there's still racism and all that, and it's disgusting. But I just don't think, like, once you take a stand, you're like, all right, I'm doing this now, and I'm not going to stop doing this until I see change. Well, I didn't notice change. I didn't really hear about change and programs where there's change. So you decided to, now you're standing. Then just keep standing.
Yeah.
Keep standing. Let's not go back. I'm not anti Black Lives Matter,
right,
or anything like that. I just want you to be genuine.
That's
I want you to be. I don't. You know it.
Good.
You know, unfortunately, you know, cops do kill, you know, civilians.
Right.
Okay? It happens every day. It's Black people, it's white people, it's Asian people, it's Native Americans. It happens. And I'm not putting one over another. I'm not going through the statistics. Well, it's more white people than Black people, actually, or it's vice versa, or whatever. When it happens, it sucks. It sucks when a white guy does it to someone who's not white. It sucks when a white guy does it to another white guy. It sucks when a woman does it to a woman does it to a man. A Black cop does it to a white civilian. A Black cop does it to a Black civilian. It's bad, 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 bad. Bad. And I am for, you know, bringing awareness and making change. But again, I want it to be consistent. I don't want it to be, you know, this is the fad right now, so let's do this. Let's have everybody see me say and do a certain thing. But when I'm overseas, I'm going to forget all about that conveniently. But when I come back, oh, still got American problems. Yeah. Listen, man, be consistent. That's all I'm saying. Be consistent.
Indeed.
That's it. That's as far as I want to go with that. But I did notice everybody had no problem standing and nobody brought it up. And I just kind of thought, that's interesting.
Great talking point.
That's
great talking point.
That's all I want to do with that. On a more positive note, listen, there were some Olympians that showed up and showed out. We know the names. Mention LeBron James. Okay. Obviously Simone Biles.
Oh, dominance.
I mean, she is
dominance.
You want to have a GOAT discussion, she's in there. She is near the top.
For sure.
Katie Ledecky, the swimmer, she's killing it. It made me kind of, so I told you prior to us going on the air, I wanted to do a top 5, maybe not Olympians of all time, but American Olympians, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I don't know what qualifies. You know, you would say Michael Phelps has to be up there because he has the most not only gold medals, but he has the most medals, period.
Dominant, though. He was dominant.
But it's swimming. And I'm not trying to, you know, poop on it. But for me, a guy like Usain Bolt, not American, being the fastest man in the world.
And then
he did it in 2 Olympics, I believe, or 3 Olympics. Winning 8 gold medals. I would rather go around saying, hey man, I'm the fastest man in the world versus saying I'm the best swimmer in the
Right.
world of all time. That's
That's a
that's
bad
me, and
man.
I'm not trying to poo-poo Michael Phelps. What the medals, what he's done, it's A level for sure. But for me personally, I'm gonna take a gymnast over a swimmer. And the
Indeed.
reason is if you know how to swim, anybody can swim. I know anybody can run, but not everybody runs super fast. A gymnast, you need training to be a gymnast. Not
You
every
ain't lying
person
about
is
that,
a
brother.
gymnast. It's like a cyclist, when Lance Armstrong, before we really knew about Lance Armstrong, when he was winning these Tour de France's, he was always in a discussion for athlete of the year.
Yeah.
Him, Tiger Woods,
Mhm.
LeBron James or Michael Jordan, whatever. And I was always like, is Lance really like, are we really considering him? Like, can't everybody, ride a bike?
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
You're
I
right.
know I can ride a
You're
bike
right. Not
fast.
a special
I know I can
skill
ride a
set.
bike
I agree.
uphill. I know I can do it for miles.
Yeah.
Is
All
that the
terrain.
same? Is
Yeah.
that the same? And I brought up Jim Thorpe.
Right.
Okay, Jim Thorpe won 2 gold medals in 1912. Well, they weren't the athletes back in 1912 like they are in 2024. You're right. But this guy, after winning 2 gold medals, became a professional baseball player, a professional basketball player, a professional football player. A whole city is named after him in Pennsylvania. Okay. I mean, how do we measure this? Jim Thorpe on the top 100 athletes of all time on ESPN made the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, that to me, that's like a launching pad. Cassius Clay won 1 gold medal, but that started off his career at light heavyweight.
Yep.
And that started off his career, and then he became Muhammad Ali, and he's the greatest of all time.
All time.
So are all gold medals created equally? I'm not sure. Jackie Joyner Kersey, did we forget about her?
No,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? In the
No,
80s and
sir.
90s?
No, sir.
What about Flojo in the
Flojo.
Seoul
No,
Olympics?
sir. No,
What
sir.
about her? What about Carl Lewis, New
Got
Jersey's own, 9 gold medals
9.
in 4
Yes,
Olympics.
sir.
84, 88, 92, 96.
Dominance.
9 gold medals, the pride of New Jersey. If you do a Mount Rushmore of athletes in New
He's
Jersey,
up there.
he has to be in it.
Yeah.
He has to be in it.
Yeah, he has to be.
Has to be in it. So I couldn't do a top 5. I didn't even mention Jesse Owens.
Yeah.
Winning the 4 gold medals in the 1930s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard. It's
Wilma
hard.
Rudolph. Wilma Rudolph. You know what I'm saying? People forgot about how great she was. Her and Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali were in the Olympics at the same time. She was winning gold medals for in track and field. She was the world's greatest athlete back then in the early 60s. That lost in the shuffle. Lost in the shuffle.
It's too many great athletes to even remotely give you a top 5 too. It's hard. You know what I mean? But you just named some exceptional achievements, athletes, trendsetters, game changers, life changers. So that's for me defines the true essence of greatness. When you can take them same accomplishments, bring them back to the States, and you can make changes in the States. And I think that's what they did when they came back to the States.
I got to mention Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, you got to
mention him too.
Yeah, he's a jerk, but
yeah, that's a scumbag.
But he was dominant.
He won the gold. He made up that fake story about his mom saying win the gold medal, which we found out wasn't true. She never actually said that to him, but he did win it.
He won it. Whatever motivation he needed. Cool.
Sometimes you got to put stuff in your head.
Yeah, you got to put stuff in your head.
He's not the first one to do it. Michael Jordan would use, would create stuff in his head when someone would say, nice game. Shaq would make up stuff.
He said he wouldn't say some autograph. He said he was too nice. I had to make up something because I couldn't go out and dominate him because he was a nice guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I needed something to make me mad in order to be able to play him the way I need to play him. So I made up a story about he signed my autograph when he met me.
Yeah.
Whatever. But, you know,
Yeah.
hey, man, look, I use motivation all day, man. I say people, man, don't believe I can do what I can do. That's in my mind, man. Ain't nobody ever said that to my face, and I don't even really believe they believe that. But I need that kind of that fuel. It's you know, it's the competitiveness, the athleteness to say, hey, man, you don't believe in me.
Right.
I gotta prove to you that I am who I am. And that's just a competitor in you.
Seeing is believing.
Straight up.
Yeah, and I'm the opposite. I'm excuse me. I'm at a point in my life where I really try hard every day to stay positive. When I left New Jersey, I didn't realize what kind of negative personality I had until I moved to Pennsylvania, and I was getting it almost. I didn't get into. I almost got into fisticuffs every other week down in Philadelphia or Norristown, PA, whatever, over dumb things, road rage, the way people looked at me, the way people talked to me. And I was making up stuff in my head when maybe 1 out of 25 times I should have actually, had my shoulders up and gave a stink eye to somebody being like, what's your issue with me or whatever. All the other times I created it in my head, and it took me a long time to get past that. Long time. But I'm at the point now where if I need motivation, I don't give credit to jabronis that don't know me, that are trying to bring me down. Okay, saying you'll never do this. You were never good enough before. You won't be good enough now. I could think of those people. I can think of their faces. I can think of their names. And I can think about people who don't know me, saying things like that. And it's just like, you know what? Am I going to go through life trying to prove people that don't matter wrong, when instead I could think about my inner circle, people who have always had my back or have my back now, who are going to push me, the real, there's family and then there's family.
Right.
You can have relatives and they're considered family that you never see.
Right.
But you know what family is. You know the ones that, in an alley when it's 10 against you, who's going to come knowing that, okay, now it's 10 against 2 or 10 against 3. Still going to lose, but doesn't hesitate. Who are those people? That's family. That's not just a relative. That's not just what you're married into. That's that's someone you're in business with. That's someone you work with. That's a ride or die. That's someone you do a podcast with. Indeed. That's someone that you'll drive 3 hours to see once every 5 years, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? That person might not know how to fight, but they're going to effing try. They're going to do whatever they can. They're going to fight in their own way. So I'm not about proving people that don't matter wrong. I'm about proving people that do matter right. That's me.
That's a good angle.
Because when I'm in victory lane and I'm holding that checkered flag and I'm holding up the number 1, I'm thinking about certain people that are next to me, not behind me, next to me, holding that checkered flag with me. That's how I'm thinking. That's, that's my self-motivation. That's not how I always was, but that's how I am now. I mean, look, I got a hot wife that used to be a cheerleader. Hey-oh! I got an awesome son that there was a time when I thought I missed my shot. Having this kind of life. I got 3 other stepkids. I got a house. I got a truck. I got a pretty good job. I got pretty good friends. I would like to see more often than I do. My father's still alive. He only lives an hour from me. My sister lives an hour in a different direction. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but my point is, people who are successful, they use things to motivate themselves. Indeed. They self-motivate, and like we talked before, they have the discipline.
Indeed.
I'm not so great with the discipline part, but I know where my motivation comes from. And a guy like Muhammad Ali, a lot of it was the negative. It was. He avoided the draft
Mhm.
because he famously said, "No Viacon ever called me the N-word."
Yeah.
But he wins the gold medal for America, comes back to Kentucky, and he's getting
Mhm.
harassed by police officers as
Right.
he's jogging down the street after winning
Right.
a gold medal. I mean, what's that all about?
What's all that
You know what I'm
about?
saying? What's
That
what's
part.
that all about? Try
Yes,
and put
sir.
yourself in someone else's shoes. To me, that's
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
Like once again, I'm glad I grew up in the era that I grew up in, because once again, I personally have never experienced none of the above.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. I've been up north, my whole life. You know, I don't know how it is down south. I just know up north, I haven't experienced that. I mean, you get ignorant people everywhere you go. That's just
Everywhere.
everywhere you go, you're gonna get ignorant people. But far as somebody just blatantly hating me because of my skin color, of my skin, nah, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know that feeling. So I can only
Mm-hmm.
imagine, like you said, you going going out there and perform for your country, to come back to a country don't even accept you, that you get harassed
Mm-hmm.
blatantly. I can't eat in this restaurant with this person because of my skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in the era.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even look at the old black and white films and see it. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
disgusting then, but I think this nation has grown a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's grown a lot, because our babies will never understand that part. They won't.
Mm-hmm.
They won't. They won't. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Teach them the history, but you
Right.
don't want them to feel
You
it.
don't want them to feel it. Like, right. You don't want them to go out saying, I hate you because of that. No, I hate you
Right,
because you're
right.
ignorant. I hate you because of not even your views, because we all gotta have our own views. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care about your views, bro. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
governs your life governs your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like when you try to bully your views on me.
Right,
That's it. I don't like
right,
bullies in no
right,
shape, form, or fashion. Hate them.
right.
Facts. Uh, but yeah, man, we in this show you get everything, man. You're gonna get everything, y'all. It ain't
Why
just
not?
sports, it's all interrelated, man. Because you need emotions in sports, you need family, the
Mm-hmm.
supporters in sports, you get haters in sports. All this comes from being in sports. Sports is the best.
Sports brings it all together.
Yes, it does.
It brings it all. People, when people are like, you're too much into sports. I used to hear that a lot. You're too much into sports. Sports brings people together. You think about the biggest moments in this country, a lot of it revolves around sports.
Indeed.
A lot of it. A lot of it. When we were getting past 9/11, how'd we get past it? When you see former President George Bush throwing the first pitch at a Yankees game, wearing a jacket that had a bulletproof vest underneath
Indeed.
and things like that. And Mike Piazza hitting a home run on that first game that was played when it was the Atlanta Braves against the New York Mets at Queens, and it was still Shea Stadium. City Field wasn't built yet. That's a big deal. When Joe Louis had the rematch against Max Schmeling,
Well,
that
yep.
was so much pressure. He had lost the first fight against a German. We're going on. This is World War II. Okay, this is us versus them, not him versus him. It's us as a people versus them. And unfortunately, when you heard Germany, you thought Nazi. You thought Hitler. I wasn't there back then, but that's what I was told. They did not make that distinction. So you got Schmeling, who's the champ, in the rematch against Joe Louis. Who had more pressure on him? He had the pressure of an entire country on his shoulders, and lays them out. Pop, pop, gives them a two-piece. You know what I'm saying? The hockey team, 1980, Miracle on Ice.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's how many people prior to that didn't care about hockey, didn't watch hockey, but they paid attention after that. Beating the Russians in the semifinals, beating Finland in the finals. People think they beat the Russians and got the gold medal against the Russians. They didn't. That just guaranteed them a medal. They had to play in the finals against Finland to win the gold medal. There's so many moments bringing us together. Cal Ripken Jr. breaking Joe DiMaggio's record. So many.
COVID. When COVID touched.
Yes.
Sports was that.
And no sports, and you're like,
what?
I really got nothing to watch.
Yeah. And then slowly but surely, they found a way to bring sports in with with the fake crowds and all that, and it made us appreciate just the gathering of people. Think about it, bro. It was weird just seeing empty stadiums, and it was weird, right?
Yeah.
So sports allow us to all come together
Yeah.
and enjoy the gladiators doing what they do.
Yeah. With your fellow man.
Yes.
I don't know what you do for a living.
I don't know you for nothing, bro.
I don't know how you live your life, but you're wearing the same shirt that I'm wearing.
And if you're a rival, it's cool, bro.
It's cool, man. It's just a game.
Cool.
It's not. Cool. We're not in Rome. We're not.
We're not.
It's not gladiators.
We're not going to kill each other in the arena, bro. It's okay.
There's a winner. There's a loser. You go home. Let's do it again tomorrow, or let's do it again next week. Come on, man. America, sports brings us together. You don't have to like it, but you should acknowledge it. You should at least acknowledge that part, at least. But anyway, well, before we get off the Olympics thing, okay, so top 5, it's probably easier to go smaller. Your top 3 Olympians that come to your food chain are, you don't have to be right, just give me a reason why.
Top my brain, I would say Michael Phelps.
Okay.
Because of the dominance. I mean, he's decorated. Jackie Joyner Kersey always stood out to me. Always stood out to me like that. Because she's the first person I really acknowledged in track and field. Obviously you had Joe Louis and you had Jesse Owens and all them, but I'm talking about as far as me to identify with that sport, because that's way before I wasn't even born them times. But she was like, that's the 80s. She's the
80s and 90s.
I was a young kid. 96 I remember that name always stood out. You know what I'm saying? And I would have to say, who's the other one that I like? That was Simone Biles all day long. Simone
Biles.
Yeah, Simone Biles. Dominance. It's dominance. Man, she was dominant. Yeah, that's the 3 for me that stood out.
I would say Simone. I would say Jackie Joyner, 2 women, and I would say Michael Phelps.
Yeah, we in agreement.
Those are my 3. I would put Usain Bolt.
I would too. Now,
but he's not American.
Yeah, if it was outside of America, I'm gonna say Usain Bolt all day long. And I'll put Michael Johnson up there too. I think Michael Johnson represented as well.
Michael Johnson, Carl Lewis
as well. Carl Lewis. But yeah, that'd be mine. I guess we're in agreement. Hey,
we're in agreement. How about that?
Go figure. All right. Man. So moving on to this beautiful thing we call the football. Football.
Yes, right? It's back, and it's really back now.
I mean, it's really back now.
Yeah.
Now, why do we call it football when technically in Europe football is football because they do play with the ball with their foot?
They call it football.
Football. We call it football.
Yeah.
Should we call tackle? I don't think it's marketable.
We call it soccer.
I don't think tackle's marketable. So football it is, y'all. It is what it is.
By the way, this new kickoff rule so far, I think sucks.
It's weird.
It's garbage. I don't know if they're going to change it during the regular season.
I doubt it.
Or it's not going to be so vanilla, but it looks stupid.
It definitely looks stupid.
The players are so close to each other.
I get it.
You can't start running until the guy catches the ball.
I get it because it does reduce the chances of that straight up kill collision.
Yeah.
You don't have enough time to get the momentum. I think it's going to be a lot of plays be made, a lot of kickoff returns. I see it coming. I'm trying to tell you, man. I can see Joker. Man, the Devin Hester was playing at this time with this new kickoff. Man,
I just think okay, you could keep them close to each other,
right?
But why not just push them back another 10, 15 yards? So every kick comes up short of the end zone,
right?
Like it takes like a good bounce to get into the end zone. I don't know, man. To me, it's wishy-washy. It's gimmicky. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think as soon as they kick the ball They should be able to run. Keep them
Indeed.
close to each other. I want a
Like,
run back. Listen, you said it's called football.
right.
Well, put the foot back in football and let
Yeah.
it matter. And,
I don't know
last
why,
year,
bro.
it was
God,
terrible last year.
I don't know why they keep on tinkering with stuff that don't need to be tinkered with. Like that is not one of the things that need to be tinkered with, bro. Uh, you know, y'all already done messed up the daggone overtime stuff. You know what I mean? I remember the old days, man, when when you ever score, right? If you
Mhm.
scored, you scored. It
You
wasn't no
scored first, you won.
you won. I don't care if it was a field goal, it was a touchdown, right? Then we went to this dumb college way where it's just dumb. It's just dumb. You feel me? It's dumb. I can't make it make sense to me. But man, it's here. Training camps are full fledged. We got a full game or preseason game, and obviously we know that the starters is not too well. You did because
I had to.
you're a Bears fan. And by the way, speaking of the Bears, Caleb looks good.
He looks good.
He looks good.
He looks good on Hard Knocks.
Mechanics look great. He's giving you some of home and stuff. Yes, it was only a series that he played, but I saw a lot in that series.
Mm-hmm.
It was enough. I mean, what else you need to do? I'm not gonna have you blame more than that. It was more for the coach to say, okay, yeah, we got one.
Mm-hmm.
It's different in college and game speed, bro. And I don't care
Yeah.
yes, he went against the ones, and yes, it was a vanilla defense that he went against, but it still don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It still don't matter. You still got to make the throws. You
Mm-hmm.
still got to show pocket presence and poise. You
Mm-hmm.
still got to have command, which I saw all that. I saw all that. I'm not gonna say he's not going to struggle, but man, y'all looking good.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and it's early. It's early. Okay, he's only played in one game.
Right.
He's gonna play in the next game, and then he might not play in the final game.
Yeah.
I'll say this: all last year, I was team Justin Fields. I was. I wouldn't say I was anti Caleb, but I wanted him to keep Justin. That was my number one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this after I get a Bears report every day. I listen to 670 The Score, the big station out in Chicago every day. Not the whole show, but I listen parts of it. I listen to when I know they're going to talk about the Bears. Training camp report every day. 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. every day. Training camp, preseason. And I'm going to say this. Listening to the people who report and know and trusting the two most reliable assets that I have. And that's my right eye, my left eye. Caleb just looks different.
Yeah.
I like Justin, but it was the same thing. It seemed like the simple things were kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
He still kind of struggled always holding on to the ball, whether it was the snap or getting stripped when he gets tackled or sacked or something. He, the corner fades like back of the end zone. He always seemed that struggle to go over the defender and get it to the receiver while his feet are still in bounds. He always seemed to struggle with that. I watched a little bit of the highlights with him with Pittsburgh, again, fumbling snaps, things like that. It just seems like he has wow plays, but he's only consistent with being inconsistent. It's always, he's got so much potential, but it seems like he's the same guy.
Yeah.
This is his fourth year now going into the league.
It
seems like he's the same guy as he was as a rookie.
I agree.
Caleb, the footwork looks natural. The arm angles look natural. The flips, the no look.
Yeah.
He got the goods, bro. A defender hunting him down and just beating right down the sideline. It just looks when you know something is hard and you make it look effortless. Yeah. I call it the Fred Astaire effect. I don't know if our audience knows who Fred Astaire is, but back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, there was very much a standout dancer that did movies, and his name was Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire and I forget the other guy's name. He was like one of the top dancers in the world, and he was in a ton of movies and stuff like that, not just musicals. But the thing to me, and my mother used to say this to me, and I agreed with her. The thing that stood out to me with Fred Astaire versus Michael Jackson or anybody else was when Fred Astaire danced, he had a natural smile on his face. Like it was easy. Like it was just him walking. You know, you ever heard the term Fred and Ginger? When you see a guy and a girl dancing together, they're like, oh, that's like a Fred and Ginger. That's Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers.
Okay.
And Fred Astaire, he was so smooth and had the little smile and stuff like that. When in actuality, he put in the work hour after hour after hour after hour. And you know, the best in the world at anything puts the most time in. They're the hardest worker.
Indeed.
They're the hardest worker. So if you make it look easy, that's how great you are.
That's a fact.
Caleb Williams, early on, he's making it look easy.
Yeah.
Now, I know he's a rookie, and he's going to, whether he hits a rookie wall or not, he'll have some rookie ups and downs because you don't know what you don't know. But right now, on some scripted plays, on just a couple of drives, I mean, he's technically 4 for 7, but he should be 6 for 7 because the other 2 were drops.
Yeah, indeed.
And the one was back in the end zone. He's kind of throwing it away, giving Roma Dunze the only guy who has a chance, but it went in the back of the, out of the end zone. So he couldn't really come down with that. So he should have been 6 for 7. It looked so effortless. It was so smooth. Now there's other rookie quarterbacks that I'm hearing looked good. I heard Jaden Daniels looked good.
He did.
I heard Bo Nix looked good. And unfortunately, J.J. McCarthy, who's out for the season now, torn meniscus.
Yeah.
I heard he looked good.
He did.
But listen, Hard Knocks, that first episode, highest rated Hard Knocks in 5 years. Now, all I heard was that the fingernails were such a turnoff. The pink phone was such a turnoff. The little pink handbag was such a turnoff. Yet, the first episode was primarily about Caleb Williams, and they had the highest ratings in 5 years. So, is he being a turnoff, or is everybody tuned in?
Oh man, you gotta be tuned in, man. He went number 1. He's predicted to be Mahomes, like Mahomes-esque, And once again, as a Bears fan, like I was telling somebody I was talking to, I said, man, we talking about being loyal to our teams. I said, I know that you are a die-hard Bears fan.
Yeah, I want to stress that.
Yeah, die-hard Bears fan. In this day and time, you don't find that. I'm just serious. Like nowadays, you'll get Raven fans, you'll get Chiefs fans, you'll get when Tom Brady was there, had a whole bunch of Patriot fans, right? Bandwagoners, right? I'm a Cowboy fan, okay? We ain't won a chip in 20 years. We ain't won an NFC championship game in 20 plus years. Obviously, got to win the championship to get to the Super Bowl, right? Okay. But I am loyal. My team right now is just don't. It's just frustrating. We don't.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. We don't want to sign a receiver. I mean, look, dog. He's going to get $30 million. You got to give him $30 million. That's what the going rate is for the receiver. We're tripping over guaranteed money and time. Okay. Dak, we're not getting done this year. It's not happening, Jack. We don't have the room. We're not even going to do it, which is dumb because if he has a great year and he balls out, he's going to be the highest paid quarterback in the next year. You're going to have to give him. Somebody going to give him that money. If it ain't going to be the Cowboys, somebody going to give him that $60 million.
He's going to get – I think he's going to get more than $60 million.
It depends.
I think it's going to be closer to 65.
Depends on his progress. But he's definitely the running to have the biggest
You know what he
contract.
is. You know he's good to very
good. He is.
Not quite great.
He is.
And he's not even 50-50 in the playoffs, but he's good.
He's good.
He could be a franchise quarterback. Man, if the Giants have a bad year. If the Giants have a bad year, I could see Dak as the quarterback and Belichick as the coach. Just saying. If the Giants have a bad year.
Get out there, man, because Trey Lance ain't the goods. ain't the goods. Like we were just talking about rookies. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's preseason, but once again, that showed me just about if you got it, you don't got it. Stetson Bennett had a terrible game. Terrible. Terrible. 4 interceptions. Terrible. Okay. Boom. So it's not about that. Michael Penix Jr., great game also.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be very good hands. Once again, it's poise. It's poise. It's comfortability. It's going through your reads. It's not getting rattled. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Justin Fields, same old story. You have not grown. And we could say, yeah, the offense coordinator, yeah, it was the team, yeah, but yeah, but Gilly, you know, and I know, Gil. If Justin Fields went out there, commanded, took control of that team, you was the guy, you was the quarterback, right? It was always a question mark, was you that guy? It was your job to go out there and prove them people wrong. It was your job to take command of this
especially
offense.
last year.
It was your job, okay?
Yeah.
So if you went out there and handled your business, they would. Hey, y'all not drafting Caleb. Y'all would have built around Justin. Obviously, as you said, because it happened in Pittsburgh. For every great play you make, you're giving us 2 bad plays. How are you messing up the exchange with the center? Twice. 2 fumbles.
Twice,
2 drives. Messed it up, right? This is a job for you to literally take.
And Russell's hurt right now.
And Russell's hurt.
He's got a calf problem.
This was your time to say, hey, this is my team.
Yep.
Like the young boy Spencer Rattler down there in New Orleans. Watch out for him. He's coming for Carr's job, okay? I promise you, he's coming. Yeah, young boy, he's ready. Right?
Good.
Same guy that Caleb took his job in USC, okay, by the way. Right? So you got these rookie quarterbacks, man. I mean, they're getting them pro ready, bro. They're getting them pro ready. So I know who's coming out. Look, Deion's son's coming out next year, okay? So whoever bombs this year is definitely going to go. He's going there, okay? So you got Giants, New York. I'm pretty sure me and Deion don't want to go to New York, but it's a great market, right? These are teams I'm predicting that's going to be trash.
I think New England's going to be trash, but they just took Drake May.
Drake May, so they're not going to go get him.
It's not going to be them.
They're investing Drake May. Carolina's going to be trash.
You're going to give up on Young? I think Carolina's going to be. They're still going to be bad, but they're not going to be bad like they were.
You think they're going to be the bottom feeder in that division?
I still think they're going to come in last in their division.
Right.
But I think they're going to win like 5 or 6 games.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, what?
Well, they brought in 2 veteran offensive linemen, so they're beefing up the line.
I know they got receiver. They got receivers, but then they get rid of their top defensive guy.
No, they got rid of their top defensive guy.
Right.
They traded him to New York to the Giants.
New York. So where did you fill that void on defense? You're still going to suffer on defense.
Yeah.
Right. So that's it's putting more pressure on the offense to produce.
I think the offense will be better. They got a different head coach. They're going to run a different system. I think Bryce Young, he got his feet wet last year.
So
I think he's going to be better. So they're going to be better.
I think Bryce Young will be better. I think that because
I'm saying 5 or 6 games. That's still a top 10 pick.
I think that Bryce Young's going to be better too. I think that once again we talked about this last year, right? That's the year he needed to have. Because everybody's on CJ Stroud, and he had a great, which he's the goods. He definitely is. He's
going to be good again this year too.
He is the goods. He's in Joe Burrow's in the arena. Okay, but I think that once again we go back to Peyton Manning. He had the worst rookie campaign probably ever. He had 20 interceptions that year.
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah,
terrible. So by Bryce Young going through that and adjusting the speed, because one of his key points coming out of college was that he was very accurate, right? So now you bring a offense, a coach, a head coach is geared for he made Baker Mayfield better down in Tampa Bay. So now you can't do the same thing with a guy that's actually accurate. You know what I mean? So I think you're right. I think Bryce Young will have a better year. So who you got coming who you see is having a terrible year this year?
So let me go through the league. Not the AFC North.
No, they're going to be good from top to bottom.
Okay, I think New England's going to be bad.
They're going to be bad.
They're
I
they're
agree.
they're going to
They just
be
traded
they're going
Judon
to
in
be
Atlanta.
picking they're going to be picking top 3.
Yeah. So they're going to be bad. Buffalo?
No,
Well, you got
Buffalo's going to be good. They're
they're
just
going to
going
be
to
good.
be
They're going to
they're
be
going to
good.
be the new look Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, they're going to be good.
But they're going to be good.
Washington's going to be decent this year. I think Washington will be decent this year.
I think they'll be pretty.
Decent.
I don't know about the Giants.
I don't know about the Giants either, bro.
I don't know about them.
Only because of quarterback.
Well, I think the quarterback's okay if the offensive line is
there.
okay.
You go, the offensive line.
They don't have that.
I agree.
Saquon was great for them, and they don't have him anymore.
They don't, and once again, they don't have the. Or maybe because they know that they don't have Saquon as a safety blanket, that the offensive line, which I doubt was going to happen, but who knows? And they might get better because they know they got to invest in the quarterback. But I don't think so. I think Johnson will be that year too. So you got them, Denver, the Raiders.
The Raiders, I think, on defense will be pretty
good. Defensively, I think they'll be in the game. It's going to come down to Gardner Minshew.
Cowboys acquired Jordan Phillips. I just saw that.
Did we?
The Cowboys acquired Jordan Phillips. So you can look that up after all here. It just came over on my thing. Cowboys acquired Jordan Phillips.
Okay.
So you can look at that after. Good player. God.
Seattle.
There's always a team that you think is going to be pretty good that stinks, but I mean, in competition for number one.
I can't really think of no teams I could think.
Rams are pretty good.
I
think Arizona's going to be okay.
I think they are too.
I think Seattle's going to be okay, and San Francisco is one of the top teams.
Top teams.
So we were talking about the Raiders. I don't really. They got a couple of receivers, Jacoby Myers and obviously Adams.
Yeah, Adams.
They got 2 tight ends.
So offensively,
so they got guys to throw the ball to. I don't like I don't know who their running back is, and I don't like the quarterback situation.
I don't either.
Defense is pretty good, but it's going to be one of those things where the defense is going to play hard. They're going to keep you in the game, but the other team's offense is going to have 1 or 2 extra possessions, and they're going to find a way to pull it out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So I think the Raiders might be bad. Don't think they'll be number 1 bad. Ugh.
I wish I would have thought about this. Teams like you, right? I'm going through the teams like you, and I'm really trying to think about who do I see have just a terrible.
I'm going through division by division. AFC East, I did. AFC North, I did. AFC South. So you got Jacksonville, you got the Colts.
Their Colts are going to be decent. I like.
You got Houston, and you got Tennessee. Is Tennessee going to be anything?
But they go invest in Will Levis though, so they're not.
They got a new coach.
They won't.
Yeah, but Will Levis is a 2nd-round pick. If he has a bad second year, could you move off of him? You could.
Yes.
You could.
Get Shador.
Yeah. Now, is Dion, which, by the way, I want to bring up Dion in a second. Mm-hmm. Is Dion going to allow his son to go to that small market?
No.
Probably not.
I don't know. Hold up. I don't know. Because was Atlanta a major market when he came in? No. Falcons was not a major market when he got drafted there. He created it. They created a market, but it wasn't major. So it's
still not major.
To have his son go in,
it's kind of popular, but it's not major.
Right, it's not major.
Major is when you're bad, you still get a ton of primetime games. You still get all the sellouts. Chicago is major. Cowboys are major.
I can see Shador going to Vegas, man. I can see him going to Vegas. I don't think that. I don't think that.
I could see that.
I can see him go to Vegas. I really
I could
can.
see that.
Yup.
I could see
Great
them being a
place.
starter.
Great place.
Can you see him going to the Giants if they're really bad? That's the New
Yeah.
York market, New
Yeah.
York, New Jersey market.
Yeah. I could. I could. I could. I could. It's a lot of pressure, but he's a Sanders, so he would embrace that. He would embrace that. And if you can make it in New York,
You can make it there. You can make it
you can
anywhere.
make it anywhere.
So this thing about Deion Sanders, I don't want to make a big deal about it, but you probably heard it. So last year, you and we praised Deion a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We praised him a lot, and I still like Deion. You know, he's a one of a kind of player, kind of personality. That doesn't mean I agree with everything he does and everything he says. And he had a press conference where he refused to talk to this guy who was working for CBS, some kind of local CBS, and he's like, it's not you personally. I respect you. I love you. First of all, he didn't even know who this guy was.
Right.
So that kind of seemed disingenuous. But for him to not talk to anybody associated with CBS, and I don't know what his issue is with CBS. I'm going to assume when he worked for CBS, when he first retired, maybe he got let go and didn't like how he got let go, and then he became a player again for the Baltimore Ravens for 2 years. Maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know what his issue is, but he clearly has an issue with CBS. But for him to be like, I'm not going to talk to anybody from CBS and stuff like that, I thought was a very bad look. That's, you're representing your school, your players. That's personal for you. You got to be bigger than that. Whatever the issue is, it had nothing to do with that reporter, and you should be answering his question.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, it's unfortunate, man. It's like you said, as great as Dion is, and and I got none respect for Dion. But right is right, and at the end of the day, you still gotta be professional, man. You're the head coach, and everybody going. If we talking about, even if it's a bad write up, if it's some comments that made that you're not agreeing with, well, that's just part of the media anyway. That comes with the job, because just as well as they're gonna praise you, they're gonna talk bad about you. That's just general life thing, you know what I mean? But you still gotta remain professional. We got jobs, we gotta be professional every day. I gotta deal with people I probably want to deal with. But at the end of the day, it's not personal. It should never be personal.
Yeah.
And he has taken whatever it is personal, because obviously it's personal. For you to say I'm not gonna talk to you is very childish. One, how you gonna govern these young men? How you gonna give direction to these young men? You talk about culture, and then you'll say certain things like culture's the only thing when you're losing. Come on, bro. Like, come on. Like,
and now
this is
you've
what you're
given
instilling into your this is what you're instilling into these athletes, though. These young men, because they admire you, you're your motivation, but you're also giving them some things that could be nasty.
Yeah. And now you've given the green light to players on the team to not want to talk to a reporter. If because you don't want to talk to a CBS guy, does that mean your son's not going to talk to a CBS guy?
Exactly. So now there you go. You don't want all that extra. You don't want all that extra stuff, man.
Yeah. You don't need it. You've already got enough on your plate.
You don't thought so, right? You came last year with the portal crap, and then you came in with that. You came in with this and I believe it's true, because he came in with, oh, y'all got a losing culture, y'all losers, or y'all ready to jump in the portal. That's not a good way to start it. Come on, bro.
Right.
It's not a good way to start it. You just came in with that energy. You didn't even get a chance to even meet these kids. You didn't understand. You know what I mean? They ain't in my regime, so you jump in the portal. Come on, bro. Let them compete. Let them go out there. You might got some gems in there. You might have some guys. It might have been bad coaching. It might have been a bad staff. All that plays a factor.
Right.
So let these young men who got these scholarships go out there and compete for you. Then make your decision. You know what you're trying to do. You know what you're looking for. You know what you're trying to build. You never know. You would have probably got something out them bulls. But you came in with a whole different attitude. Yeah, I'm bringing my Lloyd bag. And my Lloyd bag, my sons. And I'm not knocking it. Of course. I mean, that's your sons. But at the end of the day, man, be fair. Be fair. Compete. Let them compete. That's what they're there for. So at least when you could walk away, you could say, it wasn't personal. It was just that you didn't meet the standard that we were trying to set. But don't come in there and just, I hate that, man. Let me compete for the job. Straight up.
100%. 100%. All right. Well, before we get off the NFL, is there any other storyline that you are interested in seeing play out right now? That everybody's played a preseason game.
Right.
It seems like the injuries that are happening are not happening during games. They're happening during practice.
During practice,
happening during non-contact drills.
Yeah, I mean, it's once again, you can put all the safety protocols in place, but it happens, man. It happens, man. You have all, and trust me, the league is definitely ramped up. The safety. Like you said, this is non-contact stuff that's happening, bro. This ain't contact. How you gonna prevent that? So it's one of them things. But I'm curious about that the quarterback situation in Denver. I'm curious who's going to be day one starter. Trying to think what other storylines I was looking at.
I'd be shocked if it's not Bo Nix. I mean,
I would too. I mean, coming to the season, I got some storylines I'm looking forward to. I want to see Chargers, what they're going to do. I think it's going to take some time out there with Harbaugh and what he's trying to do. To build it, the winning football he's trying to build.
Run that ball. I got Gus Edwards. I got Gus Edwards.
Your defense. And trusting your defense.
Any other positional battles? We were talking about quarterback. You think Penix gives a run for a starter job?
No. That'd be dumb. That'd be dumb. No.
What do you think about Matthew Judon going to Atlanta?
I think it's a great pickup for Atlanta, and I believe that for New England, it's good because you need all the cap space to build the team that you're going to build.
Right.
You want a player that's, you want a player that's going to be, he's getting older. He's an impact player, but if I'm going to build it fresh, I might as well build it fresh. I'm not going to hold on to no crazy contracts. I'm not going to have too much. So that way, when I start to build the pieces I need for my team, you got to tear it down to build it up, bro. That's just the way sports is. You really do. So I think New England's at that point where they're going to break it down systematically, and then they'll have the money to invest into the team that they're trying to build, go through the draft, go through trades, and then you'll have that cap space to bring in some people that could to build the program you're trying to build. But it's impossible when you hold on to expiring contracts. There's no benefit having you down on your team this year. It's just not. I don't see y'all making an impact. Atlanta, they needed it.
Atlanta's got to not do what the Jets have done. The Jets traded for Hassan Reddick and didn't give him a new contract.
Dumb.
So he's not even showing up.
It's the Jets. Not saying that Hassan Reddick, not saying that they still won't be a dominant defense without him, but with them, you're just that much more. You're just that much deadlier. Way more deadlier.
Killers.
You need killers. Straight up. And if you're gonna go all in, bro, why are y'all playing?
Yeah.
Why are you playing? What are you playing for? You literally picked them up with the intention of fulfilling a contract. So now you got them, and you playing this game. Y'all ain't learned yet. Y'all ain't learned yet.
He left Philadelphia because he wanted a new contract. Did you think that he wasn't going to want a new contract? Because
you knew that though. You knew that though.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with Judon. He wants a new contract. He's 32 years old, I believe. Yeah. He wants a new contract. Yeah. If you're just trading for him and you're like, we'll work it out. No, he's not going to step on the field and play for you.
Well,
he's not going to do it.
Atlanta needs that type of player, though.
Yes, they do. They needed to pick up one in the draft.
That's what we thought they were going to do. So now you kind of got a jewel that dropped in your lap because you wasn't supposed to go for it on quarterback. But cool. It's cool. It makes sense now. I mean, if you go now, you signed Judon, give him the money. Penix, you don't need to rush Penix. You got a great veteran in front of him. You actually learn from Kirk Cousins. You know what I'm saying? It's a great situation for him. Why would I throw him out there? There's no need to. We're going to win games with Kirk Cousins. They're going to win games with Kirk Cousins. They're going to make the playoffs with Kirk Cousins. That you can do with Kirk Cousins. Now, how far you going to go in the playoffs is another thing. That's his hiccup. You feel me? But getting you in the playoffs, Kirk Cousins gets you in the playoffs, especially with that roster. He can't get you in the playoffs with that roster.
I think they're the best team in the division.
I do too.
Which means their first playoff game will be a home game.
It will be. I think Tampa's going to be good because Tampa kept that same team.
Yeah,
they kept that same team.
But Tampa is you can win a division last year and the year before.
Right.
Tampa won the division by winning 8 games, winning 9 games.
Not this year. It won't happen this year.
No.
Atlanta.
I think Atlanta's got 10
at least got 10 for Atlanta. At least 10 and 11 for Atlanta. Easy. New Orleans will probably be a 500 team to me.
Yeah.
Because
they don't excite me.
I don't
like the coach, and I think Derek Carr is on the down slope of his career.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think Kamara is not what he once was.
Once again, that's why running backs don't get the money that they want.
That's right.
Because of the fact of
durability
issues.
They get used up fast. Man. All right. We'll obviously we're gonna go more into the NFL every single show. We'll go more into we didn't even really touch on fantasy, and I'm in a fantasy league, so I'm definitely gonna touch on that probably every single show. So that's the NFL. Let's go to college football.
Okay.
The rankings came out. I got the top 25 down here. I'm not gonna go through all 25, but top 5: Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama. Any issues with that?
No.
Alabama's got a new head coach.
New head coach, right? It's a new regime down in Alabama. It was Alabama. We're going to see if it was a coach, or we're going to see if it was the program. Nick Saban put a great foundation down there. He's a Hall of Fame coach. We'll see. They have a quarterback that they know can get the job done. So this is Milrose's second year or third year, I believe, but second year full starter. So they got foundations, and they're gonna always get prime athletes in Alabama, bro. Built that up for them. So yeah, they're good at the 5 spot. Oregon, I'm curious. Oregon, I'm gonna see what they keep a quarterback. So as long as they keep a quarterback, they have
new conference now.
Oh, that's right. They went to are they what, Big 12?
Big 10, I think.
Big 10.
You go Big 10? Them in
Colorado
USC?
Big 12. So USC, didn't they go to SEC?
I can't remember.
Oh, whatever. But if they are in the Big 10,
I know they're not Pac-12 anymore. I know that.
Right. So if they are in the Big 10, that's with Michigan State and them boys. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Penn State. It's a more physical conference. More physical grind out conference. But I mean
the team I'm eyeballing is Texas.
Yeah, me too. Because they lost both their running backs. So they go with third string running back.
Running backs, are a dime a dozen. It's the next guy up, and the next guy after that, and the next guy after that.
They got a veteran quarterback in there. And then this is I think he'll be his last year. Then who's coming off next year? It'd be Arch Manning. So Arch Manning be playing next year.
I'm looking forward.
I'm looking forward to Arch Manning. I think Texas be good. I'm curious to see what they'll do. Obviously Georgia is just Georgia. You know what you're getting out of Georgia. Great offensive line, running backs. They got a quarterback that's been there last year.
And they're not going to get screwed this year like they did last year.
Yeah, they got screwed. Hey, yeah, because now we expanded to 12 teams, so it's possible for them to get screwed. So they'll probably, if anything, they might lose one. You know what I mean? It's hard, man, when you got these it's hard when first and foremost, man, they don't really get tested. Some of these teams might get tested a little early, but for the most part, man, they got cupcake schedules. Until they get into conference play, and because the non-conference games be whack. You know what I mean? They'll play some stupid teams, but I think that for the most part, the top 5 is going to be solid. I'm just curious to see what teams will come in that, who's going to shake up the college world this year.
Well, I'm looking at the top 12 at the end of the year make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm looking at 13 and 14, and they are familiar names that are not in the top 12. You got 13 LSU and 14 Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
It's odd to hear those two programs not playoff hunt.
Yeah.
And it's 12 now.
So
it's not, it's not 4.
That means their recruitment must not have been high. Because they got to be going off of the recruiting class that came in this year. Mm-hmm. Expectations, you know what I'm saying, from last year, obviously. But in order for you to base your top 10, it has to be the class that you got on board that came in. So obviously Clemson didn't recruit well because, they've been taking a decline. That program been taking a decline. Mm-hmm. And LSU, the same category. It wasn't dominant last year. Neither one of them. So I can see why. So I'm curious if this will be. I just want to know which team is going to shock us. Will it be Colorado?
No.
No.
Shock. Ooh, it's early. It's early to tell. Notre Dame is 7th.
Well, Florida State.
Florida State is 10th.
They still got that quarterback, Travis.
Yes, they do.
They do. He didn't come out. He got injured last year.
The guy that got injured, he didn't come out.
He didn't come out. So
they lost a bunch of guys.
They did.
They lost a couple of guys on the defensive line
and the receivers.
They lost Keon Coleman.
Yep.
He's Buffalo now. I need him to do good, by the way.
I think. Where's Miami?
Miami of Florida.
Yes.
19th.
They said Miami got a nice team this year.
Don't you feel like you keep hearing that?
I keep hearing it.
I feel like they say that every year. And then every 2 or 3 years they get a new head coach. Oklahoma is 16. Oklahoma State is 17.
I can see Oklahoma being one of the teams that could probably creep up in that top 12.
Name-wise. What about Tennessee at 15?
It's Tennessee, man. It's always them games.
They're in a tough conference.
Yeah, with Florida, and it's going to be hard. Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is in the top 10, ain't they?
Ole Miss is 6th.
6th, right? Yeah, they supposed to have a good team this year.
Ole Miss is 6th.
Yeah.
I
don't know, man.
I don't know either. I can't. I don't.
It's hard with the college boys, man. It's really hard.
I would just be guessing, really, going off of reputation. So I'm not going to do that. Doesn't come across as professional. So I guess we'll end the show with WWE.
Yes, sir. Oh man, make it quick and to the point. Dirty Dom, Liv Morgan, Finn Balor. Was it Hugh McDonough? What's the other guy? The last guy in Judgment Day, Madonna.
Oh yeah, the little
guy. Yeah. They're officially turning Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley babyface,
which is weird.
Yeah.
But
I've seen the trend with Damian Priest going that way. I've seen it kind of going that way. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I don't know with Rhea Ripley with that look, with that goth look.
Yeah,
that's gonna work. But she's so over.
Yeah.
That she gets cheered as a heel.
Yeah.
So maybe because I remember it was a rule. Vince McMahon did not like his heels to be cheered.
Yeah.
So if they got cheered for too long, he made them a baby face. Now he's not in charge anymore.
They're doing a great job with.
He's doing a great job.
He's doing a great job, like a great job. But then again, that's what I expect out of him because of, he's 1-0. Mm-hmm. He's a guy to transition from the locker room to the executive. He understands the mentality of the wrestler. He understands the product. He knows what needs to get done. He's not like Vince. Vince was it's rough during the Vince McMahon regime. Man. He made great legends out of it, but like they say, they get time, mental time with their families, and the schedule's not as grueling as it was when Vince McMahon had you. So that plays a huge factor. The writers are great writers. The timeline, the storylines they got going on is great. Even with Roman Reigns coming back and him going babyface and challenges, because Solo is Solo, man. Solo is the real deal when it comes
he's
to
good.
guys you want to hate. You know what I'm saying? So that new bloodline thing's gonna be crazy. Cody is Cody, man. Cody is top guy. He's babyface. You can't even turn him heel.
What do you think about Gunther?
Oh man, great one.
He's the other guy now. He's the other champ.
Gunther's still champ. Now I think Randy Orton is gonna challenge for the title. So that's gonna be interesting. You think they're gonna? I don't think they're gonna dethrone Gunther though.
So my only thing is, you got to think story-wise. There's a couple guys that are close to tying or breaking Ric Flair's record.
And that's
Ric Flair is at 16. John Cena is at 16, and I think Randy Orton is 15. Might be 14, but I think he's 15, so he's just behind them. And Randy Orton now he's in his mid 40s. So you can't just assume that he's going to have another good 10 years left in him. So he's going to have to break it within the next few years if it's going to be him. And John Cena already announced that next year he's retiring completely. So are they going to give him a send-off where he has a title match? I don't know. I think right now as a heel, so I've noticed the two top guys, you want one to be a babyface, one to be a heel. Okay. If Gunther's going to lose to a babyface, then I think Cody has to lose to a heel. I think that's the only way that works.
He's about to fight Kevin Owens. He's about to wrestle Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens is not a heel.
He's not really a heel right now.
No. So he's not going to lose to Kevin Owens then. So if he loses to, who will Cody lose to? Solo. That's the only person I could think of that he would lose to would be Solo.
That's it,
he
right?
He won't lose in Roman. You think he'll lose in Roman?
He could, but right now,
Roman comes in, take over the bloodline, creates a new bloodline. OTC, he's back, the original tribal chief, and he realigns the bloodline.
With the Usos. What if Roman comes back with the Usos?
That could be a good play. But Jay is babyface.
Yeah. So he would come back with Jay, Jimmy, Paul Heyman.
And bring in Zilla. Fatu.
The one guy got hurt during SummerSlam.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu got hurt.
Yeah.
With the splash, broke his leg. Yup. Intense guy, the Wolverine intense.
Yeah, he's got to calm down a little bit.
Calm down, buddy.
Little bit. You're either gonna hurt yourself or someone else.
But he's definitely intense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his father, Haku, is arguably the toughest guy ever. There are legendary stories about him, getting in bar fights and taking guys' eyes out of their socket and stuff like that. I mean, legendary. Road Warriors talking about him, Ric Flair talking about him, Chris Jericho talking about him. They're like, that was the guy. There's next level tough guy, like legit tough guys, but they usually had him like number one. Usually. Him, Dr. Death, Rick Rude. Rick Rude was another guy. They said, give you the shirt off his back, but man, you got on his bad side, and he was going to murder you. They said that that Ultimate Warrior was afraid of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You saw all those matches they had together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm watching here and there. I haven't watched Raw in a couple weeks.
Yeah, me either.
But I've been catching SmackDown. I'm waiting for the return of Charlotte. They keep hinting it. To me, when she's healthy, she's the best female performer. I think. I'm still waiting to see what they're gonna do with Jade Cargill. She's still, when she's in there, she's having squash matches. She's beating everybody.
Yeah, she hasn't risen to the top tier yet. There's still a lot. She's still developing.
Yeah,
still a lot of.
They're making her look good, and she's such a physical specimen.
Yeah.
That you got to have her near the top. Right now, Nia Jax has got the belt. So it's her and Liv Morgan. I am not the biggest Liv Morgan fan.
No.
I'm really not. I think she's cute, but I don't think she's super hot, and I don't think she's great in the ring. She's okay, but to me, she's not. When they put the strap on, especially when it's the top tier, not intercontinental, not United States champion, when they put the heavyweight, like Nia Jax right now is the face of women.
Mm-hmm.
And Rhea Ripley was the face.
Yeah.
I don't think Liv Morgan should be the face of the women's division. Cody Rhodes is perfect. And prior to him, Roman Reigns was great.
Yeah.
You're using one or two top stars to be the face, and they put the strap on them, and if they take it away, it's because they don't think they can carry the company. John Cena carried the company. In the 80s, Hulk Hogan carried the company.
Carried the company. Yep.
Then in the early 90s, they had problems.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It went from Hogan to Ultimate Warrior.
Yep.
To
Yokozuna.
To Ric Flair, to Bret Hart. You know what I'm saying?
Shawn Michaels came.
You want to stick with a guy, and you want to have a plan. Like, this is the face of the company for 5 years. Mm-hmm. You want one of those streaks. So they bring it up every week. Has now held the title for so many consecutive days. Liv Morgan, to me, is not one of those people. And I hate to say it, I don't think Damian Priest was either.
No,
I really don't.
Either.
I could see Gunther. I could see him being one of those guys for a while. I could see Cody being one of those guys for a while. Rhea Ripley, I could see her getting the belt back again.
But Dirty Dom.
I cannot stand Dominic Mysterio. I think he is clearly in there because of his pops. He has no physique. He's over tattooed. I get the look now. He's trying to look like Eddie Guerrero.
Right.
Okay, that's fine. But are you ever like hyped up to see him in there?
No.
And doesn't he only wins when he gets outside help.
Yep.
He never legitimately beats anybody ever. He does nothing for me. Nothing. I would not mind if I never saw him perform again.
Logan Paul.
I think Logan Paul he's like a one of one. He is so gifted. For him to be as advanced as he is, to be doing this in such a short amount of time. If you just watched Logan Paul and didn't know who he was and just thought he was part of the main roster,
I agree.
You would think he'd been doing this for 10 years.
I agree.
He's at least as good as The Miz.
Yeah.
At least as good as The Miz. And The Miz has been doing it, 15 years now?
Yep. Yeah, he got it, man. But he works extremely hard at
SummerSlam when he did that move and jumped off the top rope and landed outside the ring. That was amazing.
That's crazy.
That was amazing.
With the flip?
Yes.
Off the top rope?
Yes.
That was crazy. Man.
How do you practice that for the first time?
That was crazy, man.
How do you say, I got this idea, let me try.
Let me try.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's the goods, man.
He's good. I don't know that I want to see him have the title because he's not in there very often, but Brock Lesnar held the title for so long, and what did he have, like 6 or 7 times he actually performed a year?
Yeah.
So
Part of his contract.
I don't think you'll ever see Brock Lesnar again, by the way. I don't think so. He
He'll
was a
pop
Vince guy.
Yeah.
He's a couple years younger than me, so he's in his mid to late 40s. I think that's going to be it for him. So it is what it is. Anything else you want to add to WWE or the show?
Oh man, it's a great show, man. As always, man, we had a great time. I know, man, we brought a lot of subjects in, political, personal, all this good stuff, man. But guess what? It's all centered around sports and entertainment. And this is what we do over here. What's good with Gil and Larry? It's what we do, man. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel, comment. We definitely open for comments, and we can't wait till this football season kick off because we got some great stuff planned for this football season.
100%. I ditto everything you said. Want to thank everybody who tuned in to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. Please leave a comment. If you disagree with things we said when we got a little bit political or anything else, we will not attack you. As long as you don't get personal with us, we will not attack you. We are adults here. We can agree to disagree, voice your opinion. We voiced ours. We can have dialogue. That's what this country is about. It's about diversity. That's what makes this country better than everybody else. We got our own problems. We do, but we can talk things through. We don't always have to agree on everything. If you're respectful and you have your opinion, please share it and we can have dialogue. I'm good with it. I know Larry's good with it. So let's continue to do that, whether it's sports, politics, what we brought up, you want to comment on, go for it. I want to hear it. Make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, tell a friend. We will be back 2 weeks from today, hopefully. If not, then it'll be probably the next day on Thursday. But hopefully it's going to be 2 weeks from today, which is Wednesday. You can tune in and see any of our episodes. Just go to live, and we have each and every episode that we've done. And we've been doing this for almost a year now. Mm-hmm. Pretty awesome. So for my main man, Larry Loper, I'm Gilly Rosari, telling everybody, stay safe, have a great weekend, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Deuces, y'all.
My main man, Gilly Gilly.
Flexing.
You already know.
I'll see you, buddy.